yeah, what we did something, we thought we'd trial something out. It was very much both Annette and my idea. We'd been pondering it and decided we'd give it a go. Now, 2 years ago, I'd been to the Epsom races with UW. And one of the lovely things, in fact, Mel's on, she shared it. We had a rather gorgeous vegan hamper, didn't we, Mel?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. And that actual basket with a piggy on it, I thought, oh, that could be the hamper. So I took myself off on Thursday to M&S Food Hall, and I went and bought 50 quid's worth of gorgeous goodies. And in fact, I asked a couple of people, other customers in there, if they won that in a hamper, would they be pleased? And I got a resounding yes. So it was a selection of nice things, which I then cling filmed and took it with us. And what we did was we told everyone that for the bank holiday weekend, there was a chance of a rather nice luxury M&S hamper that someone was definitely going to win on Monday afternoon. And the ticket would then be put back in the drawer, because on the 12th of September, it would then go in the main draw to win £20,000. Now, I think what was going on was, first of all, they came and had a look at the hamper and decided it was rather nice. And everyone seemed to like the fact that there was something very tangible, and it was obvious that they had a really good chance of winning it, because there wouldn't be thousands and thousands in the draw for that. And I'm going to make the suggestion to head office, our directors, instead of these great big prizes, which I believe most of the public don't think ever really happen, that they could do a load of hampers.
Yeah.
And we could have them on show. We could do, we could apply for them, and they could perhaps, the SGLs, I'm just coming up with ideas, could perhaps be given a voucher to go to M&S and fill up a hamper with goodies. You have to just show the receipt that you've done it, sort of thing, anything like that. And I just feel it's something that people thought it was rather nice. Now, whether or not it was because when we told them that we were putting their ticket back in after the draw, and then on the 12th, they were going in the big draw for the 20,000, there was a kind of an amazing response of, wow, I get 2 chances. So I think it brought about more people to engage. That was the whole point. More people engaging. I did make a lot of appointments yesterday. I made a whopping 9 appointments, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But I will share with you one has just cancelled. He's just called me on the way back. And it's really funny because he brought another guy over, and I'm seeing the other guy before him on Thursday. There's no accounting. And I'll share with you, because it's important to share my challenges, because otherwise you think all I do is have success, which I don't. Okay. So the chap rings me and says, oh, Lisa, this is Roger. You're coming to see me on Thursday after you've seen my friend. I've been online and I've been in and had a look, and there seems to be an awful lot of people that are a bit disgruntled. So I said to him, Roger, what would that site be that you went to? Because I would like to challenge you to go back to that site and then put in the company that you're currently with. And I said, I think you'll be amazed to see there'll be just as many disgruntled people, if not more. I said, because I've done this with numerous people. And I said, the people that actually are disgruntled are usually people that haven't paid their bills. I said, more, and it's always been that way. So I said, I do feel that it possibly is not the best decision to dismiss something before you know what you're dismissing. And I said, I feel that the point of me coming to you is to show you everything, give you all the information and all the facts, then you're in a better position to make a decision. Except that at the moment you're dismissing it before you know. For sure, it's all based on supposition and internet stuff, which I wouldn't even give it the time of day. And he said, I'll think about that. So I said, well, I'll tell you something else to think about. I'm seeing your friend Andy before you. And I said, when he's signed up as a delighted customer, what's going to happen now is that if you decide to come on board, I'm going to say to Andy, I will put him down as the referrer, and he's going to get the £50 instead of you. He said, let me think about it overnight. I said, I tell you what, I've just walked out of a house and I've set up the internet for a lady, and I've Wi-Fi'd in her TV, I've Wi-Fi'd in her mobile, her iPad, her PC. And I said, she's as happy as Larry. She said, what amazing service. And I said, she's already given me 6 referrals. I said, that's the kind of thing that people love. I said, it's not all about price. I said, you're talking about service. And I said, I'm talking about someone that's absolutely over the moon. And I said, what it comes down to is people. And I said, you don't know me, but you don't know how good I am. And I said, I'm blowing my own top because I could do so after 19 years.
Good for you.
Because sometimes people are just daft, aren't they? They make a decision on a whim. So there you go. So there you are, there's a challenge. So I'll let you know, I'll keep you abreast next week of what went on. So talking of challenges, that's what I put out to you all. Hopefully you've come with some. So first of all, who would like to share a challenge that you would like answered, or an obstacle that you come across?
Actually, I've just got an email from a customer that I signed up, and there's a problem transferring their gas over. It's with CNG Energy. I might have to send you this separately, Lisa, but they're saying he's in some sort of contract, and I'm just skimming what he sent me, which is a bit hard on my phone. And it seems to say, you know, there's no reason to get out of the contract with them, which
it sounds like a commercial contract, Melanie.
It could be, yeah.
Is the customer a residential customer?
Yes.
Okay. And
yeah.
Did the property was it ever a commercial property?
That I don't know. As far as I know, it was just his home address.
Okay. I've never heard of CNG Energy. I'm going to tell you that now, and I've come across most things. I think it would be the best thing to do is to have a look at this and see what kind of contract it is. Because if it's residential, if it's residential, Melanie, it doesn't matter whether people are in a contract or not. Even if they've just signed up, Ofgem, the regulator, regulated many years ago that customers are free to leave, but there could be an exit fee, which of course, if customers take all the services with us, our company will pay up to £200, won't they?
Yeah, which he has taken all the services. Shall I forward his email to you and just see if any of it rings a bell with you?
I'd like to see what the bill is. I'd like to actually have a look at the bill. Okay. So what about challenges, guys? Come on. Otherwise, you're telling me, if you've got none, that you're signing up every single prospect that comes your way. Is that the case? Okay. Go on, Lindsay.
A challenge I've had sometimes is 2 questions. One, I don't want to put everything in one basket, but more importantly, people say, "Well, I like to do my research and look for things myself." So and I like to switch every year. How do you get? I mean, my view: if somebody's switching every year, maybe that's not the sort of person we want anyway. Because I'm
Lindsay,
talking to
you've just answered the question yourself. When someone says to me, I do my research and I switch every year, I say to them, oh, I'm so sorry. This is not the company for you, because they're looking for customers that really understand value in the long term. Because when customers take all the services, they get the very best prices on the market. Their phone and broadband comes down as well. And when they throw in the cashback card, they're absolutely unbeatable. And they're looking for people that can see the bigger picture and don't want to chop and change all the time. Now, what you've just done in that instance, what I'm saying to you is, it's a little bit cheeky, got to do it with a bit of tongue in cheek, but it's saying you don't qualify. And people want to qualify. They actually want to feel, they don't want to feel that you're saying, well, actually, no, you're not, you can't be part of this club. They want to be. If you take something away from somebody, it's interesting how they then want it. Does that make sense? It's a bit of psychology, which I use a lot. The amount of times I've said to people, oh, I don't think this is for you. What we're looking for are people that really understand long-term value. And that when you stay with this company for 3, 4, 5 years, in that period of time, do you know what? This company comes out the very best value. We're looking for people that really want to stick, and they don't keep swapping and changing every year. In fact, I even had the cheek to say to someone yesterday that came up on the stand and said that, Lindsay. And I said, oh, do you know, in the industry, I said, we have a bit of a naughty name for people that chop and change all the time. I said, they're called rate tarts. And I said, they're not the people that we want in Utility Warehouse. I said, we want people that understand long-term value. That's why Which support us. And I pointed to the Which board that showed, you know, 15 years best energy, 10 years best broadband. I said, that's why Which support us, because people appreciate, they really like the long-term whole thing.
I will say to everybody in the store that my energy bills have stayed more or less the same for about 5 or 6 years. And I'm living in the same house, so it shows the long-term value.
I'll tell you something that could be a useful item for folk. I know some of you can't do it because you're new, but I keep on me a bill, one for each year for the last 5 years in my little packet. So like at the moment I've got June. Well, I might make it now August because I've got an August bill, but I go back 5 years and I show folk and I'll say, look at that, isn't it astounding? If you take a look, actually my phone and broadband's come down, my mobile's come down. And actually, if you look at the energy actually hasn't really changed. So that could be also a good thing, because then people think, oh yeah, I don't want, you know, the big price hike sort of thing. Okay. Any other challenges, folks? Yes, go on, Glyn.
Well, I haven't been active for a few weeks because I've been very busy on other things. But when you're working out some figures for somebody, it always used to come up, these figures are valid, you know, on the sort of 13 months plan that we used to do. Now, when you work out the figures for them, doing a quote for somebody, it comes out there is no end date to this pricing. Does that mean that those figures are going to be reviewed before the 1st of October?
Can I ask you, Glyn, to clarify, are you talking about energy here?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you why. When you do the join the club site, everybody knows what I mean by join the club, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first thing that it shows is actually the variable double gold figure. That's why there wouldn't be, that's why there wouldn't be any end date. But if you move in the top left, if you move it over and click fixed, what you'll then see is that Well, the last time I did one, I'm trying to think, where are we? I'm losing it. Today was Tuesday. No, good job. Somebody reminded me today that it was Tuesday because I worked yesterday, bank holiday, and I thought yesterday was Sunday. It's just that I had 2 Sundays. So what I think it was, I signed up somebody on Thursday. Yeah, I did, Thursday. And what it was showing was that the fixed rate was fixed 15 until the 30th of September 2022.
Well, actually, and that I tried that this morning because it came up as variable, and I just switch it over to fixed, and it wouldn't go.
Would it not?
No.
Oh, shall we have a go now? Shall we have a test case? Can I share my screen, folks? Is that all right? Is
Yeah.
everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only get fixed though if they take all the services, can't you? It doesn't
Yeah.
allow you to get a
Oh,
fixed
yes,
rate if you only
have to
do the
Yes,
if you
Dan,
only
you're
do
right.
energy.
Glyn, was you doing all the services?
No, she wasn't.
There you go.
All right.
That's answered. We don't need to.
Because
That's
we were
answered.
doing our own package.
Yeah, no. It will only come up and show the 2 when it's double gold, because everybody I go to see, just a top tip here, everyone, if you're not doing it, I always say to them, the first thing we're going to do is show you the best prices. That's really important. And that's taking everything, which we may not be able to do. But I always do that first because I like them to see what it is. And then we work backwards. So we might go back to gold energy, and then we may even go back to build your own bundle for the variable rate. Well, what's known as the standard variable.
Yeah. Well, this was one where 3 times recently I've run into virgin land, as I call it. We can't not match the speeds and everything.
Okay, let me just ask you, those people that are having the speeds, is it that where they are with UW, it's only LLX, which is the old BT network that hasn't moved over to fibre? Or is it that these people are going, I need 100 meg?
No, it is the LLX. They haven't been converted at the moment.
And that's, am I allowed to say this on recording? That's just crappy, I know.
Yeah.
There are more moving over, and I managed incredibly to sign up one last Monday. I was told when I met him at the Gillingham and Shaftesbury show, he was adamant that fibre did not come down to him, and he lived in Wimborne. He said, I'm a long way down Lee Road, and he said, you're wasting your time. And I said, well, would you allow me to waste my time? Can I still come and see you? And I did, obviously. I went on the planner and I put it all in, and hey ho, there was all the speeds there. So it was a while ago that he'd found out, and I did get that one. So it is happening, but not fast enough, Glyn. I'm afraid there are still outlying areas, as we know, that unfortunately OpenReach have failed people miserably, because it is down to OpenReach to do this.
Yeah. Yes. And that's
And to the government as well, because OpenReach can't afford to do it and still continue to exist.
Really?
Sure.
What's the government got to do with it, Sean? I didn't know that. That's new to me.
Well, it is, because the government are in fact subsidising the rollout of fibre broadband.
But the government have promised the nation that they would have it covered. And they did so. And I can remember as long ago as about 10 years ago, they promised that.
Yes, I know, because I was working on that particular project at the time.
Oh, more reasons to get Boris out, but we won't go there. We won't go there. I didn't know that. That's news to me. Thank you, Sean. I know you're in the telecoms industry, and I know you would know. I did not know that. I believed it was down to private investment and Openreach and their shareholders, and they just weren't putting the money in. That's what I thought.
Well, for Wiltshire, the government put in, I think it was between 4.5 and 5 million.
God, that's not a lot, is it, in the scheme of
Not a
things?
lot.
Not when they
Not when-
spend,
every time
not when
you
they,
dig a
not when they
hole,
spend 200 million on testing people that are healthy.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. I tell you what, isn't it fascinating how our government sets their priorities? It just fascinates me, really does. Now, let's get back to some challenges. So, any more challenges?
Well, the only challenge that we had over this weekend was we were down at Hillier's Garden Centre at Three-Legged Cross with
You were there,
Anthony
where,
Picard
we were there. Yeah,
on Saturday, and the footfall was absolutely appalling.
was it? I'm trying to remember. What was Saturday like, weather-wise? It was a
Very,
bit off
very
and on,
quiet.
wasn't it? It was quiet there,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
nice hot day.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean, I booked Hillier's oh God, I'm losing it. I've done so much, sorry. Probably July, beginning of July I did it. Yeah, because the company offered 50% off, didn't they?
Yes.
And so I have to say, I did report back that the footfall was appalling, but in the scheme of things, there was a lot against us, and I'll tell you why. On the Saturday, it was the Wimbledon women's finals.
You have it
And
out.
then on the Sunday, it was the men's Wimbledon finals, and then it was the UEFA finals. We had everything against us. Sometimes, do you know what? Isn't it difficult to actually know? Whereas yesterday, a little tiny event that cost 40 quid, that's all it was for the day. And it was lovely. The public don't come till midday, and it's midday till 5. So I didn't have to even be there till 10:30 setting up. And we had, a good few thousand. And it was brilliant. Do you know what? I do wonder sometimes about, like I've gone into home-based lots. It's all about getting a continuous trickle, isn't it? That's what we want. We don't need to be mega busy, but we just need enough time to be able to talk to people. When we finish with one, there's somebody else.
Yeah.
So the footfall, I didn't find it good there either. In fact, I did say to the company when I gave feedback, I wouldn't be booking there again. I found it too intermittent, really.
Talking to Amy, I think she's of the very same opinion.
Yeah. Well, I did the Friday because it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on that weekend I did the Friday. I got one out of it. That's not good enough. Not really. That's not what we want. What we're looking for, guys and girls, if we're looking at events, because it's so nice to be with people, it makes a massive difference because people can read your body language. They're with you, yeah. And
I think
we
that's
want
the thing that we enjoyed, was just talking to people. All right, we didn't have any success, but it was just to be out there and to be doing something.
Can I say, keep your ear to the ground and your eyes open as you're driving around. You might see an odd banner on a fence or a wall somewhere that's telling you about a little fete, a village fete, or is something of that nature. These are the ones that are fabulous. They're cheap. They never cost a fortune, and you may not get thousands there. But the funny thing is, they're people that they're often supporting it. They want to be there, and they've got time to talk to you, and that's who we're looking for.
Yeah.
Anything else? Den, you put your hand up earlier.
Yeah, just checking I'm not on mute. We did an event, Lorraine and Terry and I, a little while ago, and I had 6 people that I spoke to there that filled in the form and said they were interested, and I haven't managed to make a single appointment from any of them. One of them I've spoken to twice and haven't managed to make an appointment. The other 5 haven't even picked up the phone, and I tried calling from my mobile because that was the number that I gave them that I had from it. But then I've also tried calling from my home phone so that they wouldn't know that it was me, if you know what I mean. And,
No,
I
absolutely.
still couldn't even get them to pick up the phone.
Right, so Den, now we're going back to what we call, excuse the expression, wham basics. We call it win a mint now, don't we? Because wham is what we all understand. Now, there is some basic stuff that when we're there, it's very rare that one can often make appointments if one doesn't get them immediately. Okay. The reason being is as soon as they walk away from that stand, do you know what? In the scheme of their life, we're nothing. Unless it's poignant in their mind at that moment that they're thinking about switching. Now, I have to say at this moment, it's quite heavy in the news that prices are about to rocket come the 1st of October. And I had people coming over, having a look, because they're saying, oh, my prices are going to go up. Oh, there's someone in the background making a lot of
Sean.
noise.
We're just getting a Sainsbury's delivery at the moment.
Could you just mute a minute, Sean? Just do
Yeah,
a mute.
well,
The Sainsbury's delivery, love it. So what happens when they go away, that unless it's in their mind, we don't become important. And I hate to possibly dash anyone's dreams here, but you know, the £20,000 draw, that will never be the enticement for you to go and see them. Honestly, I absolutely promise that. It is not a reason that people want, because they've already filled in the form. And that isn't something that's foremost in their mind, because in their mind, the reality is probably it's never going to happen. Okay. So when you're with them, you've got to help them feel that there's a chance that you can empower them. And this is the stuff that I've always done. So once I've got the drawer out of the way, I then say to them, so can I just ask you, have you ever heard of UW, Utility Warehouse? And I'll point to one of the signs. And a lot of people still say no. And some will say yes, and they'll say, but I don't know how. And I'll say, well, that's fair enough. I said, the reason you don't know how is that they actually don't do advertising. Now, this is important. I go, they don't do TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, outbound calling, and junk mail. All the stuff that other companies do that cost about 200 million a year, like Sky spends. And that's true, they do. So I say all that advertising they're not doing is clearly working. And they have a laugh, because you've got to make them laugh. And I say, well, let me show you why customers love Utility Warehouse and how they work. They work through recommendation. And I was recommended to this 19 years ago. And then I grab my bill. I grab my bill and I go through it and I paint the picture of our life exactly as it is. That now I don't have a mains gas, got a tank in, because I live in the middle of nowhere, but we have electric. I go to the page and I explain to them, we're quite a bit in credit at the moment, because like many people, the lights aren't going on. So it's building up a credit, which is correct, ready for the winter usage. And I go through that bill and I explain stuff. And then I say, that's brilliant. Look, 6 services, £150. Stunning. But let me show you why my accountant says this is the best. See that money there, that £36? That has come off. And let me show you how I got that. So I go to the back page, open it up, and I show them all my spending. And I particularly point out the one-offs, like locally to me, it's Pamp Hill Dairy. And I said, look, I spent 18 quid in there. Now, I got 1% back. You may laugh, 18p, but look, 18p, 271, 46, £3.17. I said, all these little bits And I pause. Do you know why? Because they go, oh yeah, but it all adds up. And I go, yeah, that's right. It's true, they do. And then I go back to the front page and say, and it makes a difference. And I say to them, do you know, my accountant has said to me, Lisa, you're getting about £600 a year back. That's money you've not had to earn, pay tax and insurance on. It's worth 25% more. How smart to get the money you were going to spend work for you even harder. And now it means for me, it eliminates the cost of my electric. Can I just ask you, then, would you be serious about seeing your everyday spending reduce your bills as well? And they go, yeah. I said, well, then we need to meet, don't we? Now, that's not my line. I copied that off Rob Barris years ago because we copy what works. And I said, right, we need to meet. And they go, all right. And I don't even ask anything else. I grab my diary and I open it up. I say, right then, any chance I can see you during the day? Or do you work? Will it have to be evenings or weekends? And before you know it, I've got an appointment. Now, I'm going to explain to you. This is I know we're going off on a tangent, but this is the bit that matters because I keep hearing about appointments falling apart. I then say to them, they give me a time and a date, and then I stop back and I go, oh, can I just ask you, seriously, Tuesday, 10 o'clock, are you sure there's nothing that will get in the way? Even when they've come up with it. And they go, why? And I say, well, because I'm going to build my appointments around there and I'm coming a fair distance and I treat others the way I like to be treated and I won't let you down and I really don't need you to let me down. So if you think there's any reason at all why that appointment could end up being postponed, let's sort it out right now. And that's the bit that takes the time and it's called consolidation and it's what keeps an appointment stuck in. Now, when you get the appointment, it's different because now you say, look, I'm going to come and see you. You've now got the time. They've said yes. Get your bills out, the gas, electric. I need to see the annual kilowatts and what the projected personal forecast is. Your other stuff doesn't matter too much because you know what you pay each month. And, you know, I'm going to go through this, show you everything, give you all the facts, all the information. And do you know what, Den? You're going to be able to make a proper decision. And I'll be honest with you, Den, if I don't save you money, I'll say stay as you are. Now, when you say that in that format, never come out with no obligation. That is sales speak. I just say, do you know what? If I can't save you money, I'll be saying to you, guess what? Stay as you are. But I said, now you will know by me seeing you. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I'd arranged, I was saying to people, when can I phone you? And yeah, so and then I phoned them and then they wouldn't pick the phone up. So yeah.
Wonderful. So actually, me going through that was like a what we call a super fast masterclass in how to do win a mint. I could see Val laughing.
Try that next time. Thank you.
Well, we could always go through this stuff again because this stuff is the stuff that matters. And you know that making an appointment with someone, that could be anywhere at all, couldn't it? It may not be from being on a stand. Like when I got my appointment, I bought a picture of chickens and I wanted to have it nicely framed. Went into Blandford here and got talking with the woman. And I think we got onto the subject of how I got the picture. She said, oh, I've seen this woman's stuff before. I said, oh, she was at a fantastic event where we were working. And she turned around and said, oh, what were you doing? Now, that's the key. She asked me and I said, oh, I said, we reduce businesses and homes bills. She said, do you? I said, yeah. Oh, she said, that sounds good. I said, well, I could have a look at the bills here. She said, I'd rather you came to my home first. And I said to her, look, I tell you what, I said, let me go back to my car and get my diary, because actually it would be a good idea to make an appointment now properly. And she said, oh, I haven't got mine. But she said, I know when I work and when I don't work. And I said, all right then. I said, well, I've got a good idea what's going on. I said, you tell me. She said, what are you doing? And I remember she said, what are you doing next Tuesday evening? Could you come and see me? I said, yeah, of course I could. I said, I know I could. I said, but it's got to be after 6 because I run a coaching thing. And she went, oh no. I said, can I ask you, would that be sealed in stone? She said, why? I said, well, because when I book here's another one, Den. When I book an appointment, I said, that evening is given over to you and no one else can have it. And I said, it is just awful when someone lets you down at the last minute because somebody else could have had that slot. And she went, no, that's sealed in stone. There you are. There's another way to do it. Okay.
Hey, thank you.
Guys, we've gone 6 minutes over. I'm ever so mindful of the time. Anybody got any ideas for next week? What you'd like?
Seeing as I missed this one, I'm sorry.
No matter.
Stay there after.
Yes, just a heads up of what's going to be announced at Amplify.
Oh,
Don't go there. Don't go there. You can't do that.
can I just say what it isn't?
Yeah.
It's not a sit down for a whole day and watch people on stage. This is more like, Lindsay, Piggy Fest.
Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Lots of stuff happening outside. Lots of fun, enjoyment. Yeah, great stuff. And is everybody going? Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I tell you, we're in for such a great time. You are gonna love it. Who went to Piggy Fest? Oh my God, didn't we have fun? Oh, probably the best event ever. Oh, and I've had the directors saying to me, this is going to be like that. Oh, exciting. And there's going to be a big announcement, which I'm not allowed to tell you. Ha, ha, ha. You just got to wait.
You mean
Right, guys, I ought to go. Otherwise, I'll get told off. What we'll do, we'll come back on because I'm recording this, Kev, and I can't have this in the recording. So I'll call you back. All right, folk.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Yeah.
If you look for something, let
Bye.
me know.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.